Hey everyone, have a here bro, video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, I'm doing something totally different that I normally have never done before, and what we're going to be doing is best teams for battle-hardened formidable foes, and focusing on just one style of event. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in, and I probably haven't done one of these since the Gods of Destruction event came out years and years ago, because that was so different than the current meta, and now we're kind of experiencing the same thing because this is a combination of Super Battle Road and Red Zone, and teams are built a little differently. Now, I did recently, before this video here, did the best teams for the 10-year anniversary part 2 and 3, and in a sense this is going to be kind of an update for that, because a lot of people had it confused on certain units that I was running in first position. I normally look at teams, and I guess I'll switch gears over here. I normally just look at teams on my original best teams for a various different combinations, as if they were starting the game brand new or ending the game. So we're not doing it that in this video here, because the teams are going to be similar but a little bit different. We're really going to be focusing on formidable foes, and in reality, the most difficult thing about formidable foes is if you have units that's going to take a while to get to a level of power, those aren't as valuable as turn one type of units that are incredibly strong, incredibly defensively strong, and then can do a lot of damage on top of that as well. So it's going to look more like this here, where I'm not focusing too much on just having flex and a support unit on the floaters here, and this is in a sense still similar, but defense is a big priority across the board, right? So you're gonna have 3 to 4 turn ones because of the reset every time you defeat a group of characters. Again, the team building is a little bit different and has changed. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. And again, I wanted to make this video because there's a lot of confusion in my other video, and I was like, let's clear it up. I already have some of these slides already done. Let's just do this differently. So there's not a ranking here. I'm just doing a group of different teams that works fairly well with battle hardened formidable foes. And let's start with the movie Heroes Final Trump card and an array of different teams. I guess I'm going to go over 3 teams that does have a leader that is dodge focused. And when you're dealing with a evasion dodge focus type of character, especially on formidable foes, you do just have to watch out. If it's a dodge or die unit, you might have difficulty in that spot there. Now there's, I believe, only one fight that has in formidable foes that has a guaranteed nullify of dodging, but you can stun that individual. I believe it's Android 13. Everything else is still just kind of normal, and for those dodge or die kind of characters, again, you just have to watch out. So this would be a variation of this team here. A lot of people initially said on my other videos, like, why do you put EZA Gogeta in slot 1? Well, once he transforms, he's incredible, so I want to keep him in the main rotation, and 90% of events he definitely deals very well in slot 1. Yes, this new stage top 1%, he's having a lot more difficulty being on one turn at 60%, and then drops down to 40% after that, and 40% damage mitigation is just not enough these days, right? So so I did just move him over here on the floater position. Again, you could bring in like a Gohan here. He's fantastic in terms of healing ability and things of that nature. So just kind of keep that in mind, right, with dodging type of units here in terms of this team, Movie Heroes and Final Trump card. Then you have another team that is going to be dodge focused, right? And this has MUA Goku and Tech UI Goku, and that's going to be Universal Fire Saga and Realm of Gods. So it's important here to, again, make sure that you understand most of the time you're not going to get his domain up, because generally speaking, it's like 4 to 5 turns per round. Now, maybe toward the end, like the last fight or the last group of individuals might take you a longer period of time. But generally speaking, it's not going to take that long of time to complete if you have some good damage dealers to go ahead and complete that round of individuals. Just have to watch out for, you know, the attacks and super attacks here. So this is another team here that you do have a lot of other options you could put in here. For example, like full power Gohan in some of these slots here. Of course, easy A evolution Vegeta. I would prefer, you know, him versus the new evolution Vegeta, Old Blue Eyes, because of that revival mechanic. And another great thing about revival units on Formidable Foes, you can do it every stage, right? So very, very powerful ability that you can have, but of course you do have to build up for that in terms of MUI Goku and Evolution Vegeta. So the last dodge heavy team that we're going to talk about here is going to be Glorio's team, Demonic Power with Battle Wits and Accelerated Battle, because he is a third position dodging beast, but he can do quite a bit of damage. He does a lot of super attacks, you know, on there, and of course provides that 3-turn support. So ultimately, this is a very fun team to run and is very effective. But again, you just have to watch out in turn 1 if there is an AoE situation or things of that nature. He's not going to be able to dodge at high effectiveness because it takes a few super attacks for him to then gain his, you know, 70-80%. I believe he can get up to 80. It's 50%. His baseline, and then he gets more dodging ability as he does more super attacks. So that is a build up here. So he is a little bit iffy, but in my normal best teams, he's fine again in 90% of the content. And then this top 10 or this 1% here, the top 1%, he does find himself in a tough situation. Now, one of the fun things I like to do on the Formidable Foes is have the Buuhan Kid Buu rotation. That is a great rotation, being that he can heal quite a bit. You can even move Kid Buu in first position, especially if you have other Boos on the team here, especially like, for example, if Buuhan's not on rotation and it's Glory on rotation, you can just go ahead and put Buuhan in second position and just have Kid Buu tanking everything, because he can have upwards of he can get quite a bit with, I believe, 3. He can get, what, 70% damage mitigation, 80% damage mitigation. It's quite high. So the usefulness for the Buu rotation here is very strong, again, for the healing ability and the taking ability across with that. And you'll see that in other teams. For example, kind of moving away from the dodge or die team here, this is a team that you can run the Brolys on and the Buu rotation, which are really, really strong rotations. The biggest issue here is that everybody's running at 170 in the main rotations, and that's not very good. But with the domain coming up fairly easily with Lord Slug here, it does work. So of course you can bring in a little bit stronger units that are not only 170, and you can bring in easy A full power Frieza, and then of course that amazing great ape Vegeta there in slot 1. You know, once you get that rotation down, he's going to be in slot 1 from here on out. He's just not going to die, right? So you know, having slot 1 easy A Vegeta and then Broly in a rotation, that's a rotation that you're just not going to have any problems with. And then if you have a Glorio or if you have a Buuhan there, it's a solid team, right? It's a solid team for Formidable Foes. Continue on with the Buuhan and the Buu's rotation here. I don't know why I still have the, see, you know, still I don't have everything perfect here, guys. I don't have like the support highlighted still up here. Could easily take that off. The nice thing about Tech Buu, right? If you can actually get his domain up, it doesn't negatively affect superclass characters. So this is very few that have no negative responses in terms of going ahead and getting the domain up. Now you can only get his domain up when the Buu rotation is there, right? When everybody's in power absorption, or you have to wait till 6 turns. So you just want to get that up, you know, fairly quickly with the Buuhan rotation on there, and just, you know, have it good to go, and all Majin Buu Saga units are getting a buff, right? So you know, the Gotenks team is very strong. It's a top 5 team on there. One of the things I do again want to mention, you know, that revival mechanic. This Buu here is kind of like a cheat code, right? So you can have him on this team or any other team that he's available on. And again, he's just going to revive for you, you know, and just have this extra life every turn or every grouping of enemies. And you start over again in turn 1, he's going to have that revival back up. So, and he's probably one of the easiest units to revive, because if he gets touched with some of these enemies here, he's going to die fairly easily, but then he comes back stronger than ever. Speaking of just Buu and Gohan in general, you can run the Gohan team in of itself, and this is what it looks like here. Again, just overly very, very strong. You're looking at healing ability, you're looking at you know, domains. You know, you can have you know, in Janemba here, he supports, right? So some of these super easy A's, don't forget, you know, when I talk about building teams here, that last floater position, you might want to just bring somebody who can support, but also can deal with not getting just absolutely destroyed and killed. Now, of course, in Janemba is more of a dodging unit, but he does have a lot of defensive capabilities as well. So speaking of defensive capabilities, the movie bosses team, even though I ranked them a little bit lower in overall because of the bench strength, and the bench strength here is again not all that great, but if you're going to run this team here, and you can run both Janembas on here, especially when he's not on rotation, you can put Janemba in second position, and that's going to be, you know, I would say most of the time. They're just fantastic, and Beerus is going to support on defense as well. And then the great thing about Cell Max is very strong in the beginning, but then kind of fades off. Perfect for formidable foes, because by the time he's going to fade off a little bit, he's still going to be very, very strong. It's going to restart again, and he's going to have that you know, entrance ability on there. A team that I think I ranked maybe a little bit too low, but he's still, you know, right there in the 6 or 5 spot there. I think this team just could be better than Majin Buu Saga, but again, overall, I think Majin Buu Saga still has a slight edge because of that bench strength. But as a standalone for formidable foes, the Gohan full power team is just incredible. Very strong here with Beast Gohan and full power Broly there, or Tech Broly there. You know, taking up that first spot there, you'll have ability to go ahead and revive with Evolution Vegeta. You do have a domain that comes up, and it does hurt superclass characters, so you gotta kind of maybe watch out for that if you think you need to use it or not, which I don't think you will need to. And then you have a Jiren on there. It's gonna be very strong, but you can even bring like just more defensive units like a Piccolo here, or even his Tech Cell can work out very well. So because of course he just recently super easy'd on top of that. So a little bit of variation there, a little bit of options that you can run, but I really think this team is very, very strong here. Again, I'm not ranking these because they're so similar to each other. Just kind of, you know, breaking down some of the best teams that you can run on here. Speaking of a very versatile team here is going to be Uncontrollable Power, Int Broly, right? Tech Broly, Int Broly, that combination is still one of the best in the game, especially on a short duration, because you know, as kind of time goes by, Tech Broly does lose a little bit of a benefit here. And then that Easy Vegeta, man, that Easy Vegeta, having both Broly and then Easy Vegeta in the first spot there with the Int Broly's, you know, coming behind, and then have the Buus be in the background here, and then in Janemba's support. Man, just so many options. Again, we talked about, you know, Buu having an option here. You can run him, and that's going to strengthen this kid Buu. So remember, it's every I believe Majin Buu Saga unit that's on the team. He needs 3. So if he gets 3, he's going to get that full damage mitigation on there. So having in Janemba is going to actually be kind of weak for Kid Buu, but still Kid Buu is just amazing. It's still very, very strong. Of course, you can also just have that Gohan here as well, if you like. So a lot of options on this team here. This is probably why he is, you know, top 3 in my book right now for Uncontrollable Power. Then, of course, you have Beast Gohan here. So Beast is just amazing in terms of that first position. Very comfortable. You have multiple different units that you can run on this team. Again, he's just, you know, very, very strong overall. And if you do get to the point where you can use the taunt mechanic, that just saves you at the end. And there's going to be fights in Formidable Foes that's going to get you to that point where it's going to take longer than 5 turns, and you're not going to reset. So then, you know, Beast Gohan comes in with the taunt. You don't, you know, get hurt anywhere else, and you just, you know, destroy the remaining portions of that end game fight there. And then the final 2 teams is going to be Gogeta and Vegeta, right? And this is where a lot of people got confused, and I do apologize. You know, when I was recording that first video, the best teams video for 2 and 3 of the 10-year anniversary, part 2 and part 3, I had like 3 slides here that looks similar to this, where, you know, Gogeta isn't, you know, in the first position, and I had a lot of people, hey, why do you have Gogeta in the first position? Again, 90% of the time he's fantastic on there, and again, on this type of, you know, fight with Formidable Foes and things of that nature, you can drop them down. And with this team here, so these 2 teams again are very similar to each other, right? This team here, you're actually using Easy Grade 8 Vegeta in that first position there, right? And on the Vegito team, you're using Beast Gohan, right? So that's kind of the difference. But actually, either way, this team here, you can actually do both the Easy Grade 8 Vegeta and Broly and Gohan, whereas Gogeta, it limits you to only Broly and Easy Vegeta, because Successors is not Earth protecting heroes, right? So Gohan is on this team, but not on this team here. But you can run Frieza's and other units on this team here, whereas this one you can't. So again, that's why I have Super Vegito as like the #1 team, because it does have more variation. I think Gohan is more valuable than Frieza at this point in time, right? So, but of course we have the upcoming 7-year anniversary EZAs. Those will change everything, I would think, because they're on a bunch of different teams. And again, I just wanted to make this video here. I don't know if you guys need another one. Like, when those EZAs, do you guys need another one of these? No, I just wanted to at least tell you guys, you know, my thought process when I make the best teams. It's the overall game, and when you guys are looking at just these types of particular events, like Formidable Foes, you're gonna build it a lot differently, right? So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. Hopefully it was beneficial to kind of revisit these and kind of then look at my other teams and go, oh, okay, I get it. You know, okay, yeah, 90% of the time, yes, these teams are just gonna, you know, wreck through, and that's why you have them on best. Yes, but yeah, certain situations you're gonna have to change up the teams there. So with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.